These ancient beliefs, documented by Nari F. Santos in 2008, reveal how early Filipinos lived in harmony with nature and the unseen forces that surrounded them. For indigenous communities, the spiritual world wasn't distant or mysterious. It was a living presence, guiding their daily lives, shaping their values, and strengthening their unity. Across the islands, people worshiped Bathala or Maykapal as a supreme creator, honored ancestral spirit called Anito, and performed rituals to maintain balance between human and spiritual realism. But what does this have to do with peace and harmony? For our ancestors, peace wasn't just the absence of conflict. It meant living in balance with all forms of life, both seen and unseen. Respect for natures, for others, and for the spirit was the heart of the peaceful community. As we explore these indigenous beliefs, we discover not only the roots of Filipino spirituality, but also timeless lessons about unity, respect, and coexistence, values that continue to shape our identity and our pursuit for peaceful community.
To understand the hearts of indigenous Filipino spirituality, we first look at its definition and background. For early Filipinos, the world was more than what the eyes could see. They believed in a spirit world filled with divine and ancestral beings, a realm that constantly interacted with humans. This belief shaped their moral values, daily life, and respect for nature.
Let's look at the two examples of these beliefs in action. Among the Tagalog communities, the Catalonan served as a spiritual guide who led rituals to communicate with Bathala and the Anito. These ceremonies were vital for healing, good harvests, and community peace. Meanwhile, the Mangyan people of Mindoro believed that each person has a karadwa or soul that continues its journey after death. Their customs showed deep respect for ancestors who are seen as guardians and source of wisdom.
Indigenous worldview emphasizes balance and interconnectedness. Life, death, nature, and spirit were all part of one continuous circle. The soul, called kaluluwa, ginhawa, or karurua in different regions, represented a person's life force. Death, on the other hand, was not the end, but a journey to another world, often symbolized by crossing water or traveling in a boat, just like what's shown on the famous Manunggol jar from Palawan.
In these traditions, the supreme god was known by many names: Bathala for the Tagalogs, Laon for the Visayans, and Kabunian for the Ilocanos. He was believed to be the creator and protector of all life. Alongside Bathala were the Anito and Diwata, spirits of ancestors and nature who served as the mediator between God and the people. To honor them, rituals and offerings were performed, led by a spiritual leader known as Babaylan or Catalonan.
These indigenous concepts are deeply relevant to peace studies today. They teach that peace is not only about resolving conflict, it's about living in harmony with all beings. The indigenous belief in interconnectedness encourages care for the environment, respect for others, and unity within the communities. It reminds us that true peace begins with respect for life itself.
However, these spiritual traditions face many challenges. Colonization and modernization have caused many indigenous beliefs to be forgotten and misinterpreted as superstitious. The younger generation also becoming less familiar with their ancestors' custom due to changing lifestyle and media influences.
Despite these challenges, efforts to preserve indigenous spirituality continue. Local elders, cultural organizations, and educational programs are working to document rituals, teach native language, and share traditional knowledge. Laws such as Indigenous People Rights Act of 1997 also help protect ancestral lands and cultural heritage. This initiative ensure that the wisdom of our ancestral lives on, inspiring future generations to value peace, respect, and identity.
As we come to an end of our report, one thing becomes clear: the indigenous belief of our early Filipinos were more than just an ancient stories. They were the way of life, a guide that shaped how people live, love, and connected with the world around them.
This tradition teaches us that peace begins with respect. Respect for nature, for the spirit, for ancestors, and for one another. The concept of God as a bathala, an understanding of the soul as a life breath, and a view of death as a new beginning all reflect a deep harmony between the spiritual and human world.
Even in our society, these beliefs shape our Filipino values. They remind us that we are all connected and that harmony with nature and community leads to lasting peace.
Today, the challenge is to keep this indigenous tradition alive, not just a part of the history, but a living lesson for the future. By embracing the wisdom of our ancestors, we build a more peaceful, respectful, and culturally grounded nation.
For Florissants and for all who seek understanding of our roots, this has been a report on the Filipino indigenous religious concept of God, soul, and death in relation to the spirit of the world. May it inspire us to see peace not only as an idea, but as a way of life.